It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. So the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so dope. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We repping our team, standing side by side. We don't lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. In the stands we jump and sway, feel the beat. Got that rhythm in our hearts, can't take defeat. Every match we rise, watch the game unfold. Blue blood running deep, our story told. With every win we celebrate our crew. Chanting songs for Chelsea all day, it's true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. Stop the banners fly high under the sun. Every player on that field, together we run. With each kick we feel the passion ignite. For Chelsea our hearts shine forever bright. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no one. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd. It's a blue morning show where the vibes are flowing, so fresh, so low. Everything's about Chelsea, feel that pride. We're repping our team, standing side by side. Win or lose, we carry that blue. Cause Chelsea, see Chelsea, it's all true. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud, 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 no. All them a cheer, them a cheer. Cheer, 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 loud as the crowd.
Yes, good people, big up to all of you. Welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well. We have quite a lot lined up to talk today. You could argue similar to what we have yesterday. We'll talk about the Delap's medical. We'll talk about Hato to Chelsea, Branthwaite, Ekitike, Gyökeres updates, and Nkunku, and the record. We didn't just win the Europa Conference League. We won it in style. We did break all sorts of record, players individually, the manager, and as a club. We will have fun discussing all those items that I just mentioned. But more importantly, I do hope you're all doing well. If we can, please keep the topics aligned because we have a lot of people joining. I like to interact with you guys as much as I like to do that. If I just uh, try to get everything we have there in the comment section, that be all we do for the day. So please keep the topics aligned and it would be good for us. Your first, yeah, John Hand, nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. I haven't found the time to make you a moderator yet. I'll do that the moment I find space. Big up to you too, and big up my bro. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us here. Who else do we have here? Big up everyone and a coach, and that's the big ooh. Big up to you too, Tabejo. I do hope you're doing well. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. The coolest shouts podcast is in the house. Press and hold your screen for just about a second. Then you see the like, comment, all the bells and whistles. We like more likes. The likes do go a long way. We're not a big account yet, so we're still begging for likes. Help us get a lot more likes. It will go a long way. If Sancho stays, his wages and all that, yeah, he'd have to take a wage cut. I think the club wants to keep him, but his salary is an issue. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Good morning, Jaja Jones. Nice to see you. Namaya Fowler, all of you. Cold Palmer, nice to see you. You just woke up? Okay, good morning to you too. Everybody in the chat. Without wasting much of your time, we will start addressing the items we have lined up here. So the sooner we get through them, if anything new emerged as the show progresses, we try to add them to the items we have to address for the day. And the first one, without wasting much of your time, as you can see on the screen, we have to talk about the records we broke in the process. Again, the games in the Europa Conference League. We didn't just win it; we won it in style. We won it like we're a big team. We won it like we're big boys. We won it like something. Yeah, we're truly bigger than this trophy, but it's a big trophy. No disrespect to the trophy or to the competition, but we won it in style, and that's the way it should be. That final 4-1. Usually you don't get such results in finals, but yeah, we did that. We did it in style, and I knew it was going to be like that. But we'll talk about the records we broke in the process. Tobago here saying we told people Chelsea would try to keep Sancho because he's a good value. Yep, and also good player. More also good value for the money. Yeah, just like Liam Delap. Yep. Yep, very well said. Make sure you all hit the like button, John. Very soon I will find time to do the moderator thing. We've connected properly, and I know you're the one. I know you're not lying. I trust you. But thank you for joining once again, John. All right, the first item. Let's look at all the records we broke in the process of winning the Europa Conference League. As I've said before, I'm not kidding. You know it's the truth. We won it like we're bigger than the competition. Once again, no disrespect to the competition. It's a big trophy. The first item, Mark Gee. Mark Gee was a star of our league phase campaign, and he became the youngest Spanish player to score a hat-trick in major European competitions since Real Madrid's Raul in October 1995. I loved Raul actually. He netted a treble against Shamrock Rovers. That's one of the records we broke in the competition. Yeah, we won it like we're the biggest club in that competition. And had we finished the season without winning that trophy, wow, the banter, a lot would they would have bantered us to oblivion, really. We went into the competition to win it, and the manager at one time, at some point in the season, in the just concluded season, he was being ridiculed, blamed for prioritizing the accusation at the time was that he's prioritizing the competition over the Premier League. But if you understood what he was doing at the time, he was just playing it safe. He was just rotating his squad, trying to find a perfect balance without overplaying certain players in certain competition or playing not you can say not have a balanced squad for both the Premier League and the Europa Conference League. So another record. Keenan Druswell Hall was the only Chelsea player to feature in all 13 games of the Conference League. The midfielder scored 4 goals and provided 2 assists, including one for Sancho in the final. So this is from from Chelsea's perspective. He is the only player from our squad that played the entire games in that competition. He did well, actually. 4 goals and how many goals in total? Let me look at that again. 4 goals and provided 2 assists. That's actually not easy. And if you ask some people, they tell you he had a bad season. He actually had a good season. It was, and he's starting to look better and better, maybe feel less of the pressure of being a Chelsea player. They told us Enzo Maresca won't win a trophy. Won't win a trophy at Chelsea or make it to top four. We know a lot of people. We know the people that said that. Houston, I'm not gonna say a lot. Even they told us that Clark and Co. They're not gonna win anything until 10 years or 5 years. Go ask Mineral FC and Gang. Sofian, okay. Hello everyone. Ekitike is too expensive, and the Premier League is more tough physically than Bundesliga. He would flop with Chelsea like Nkunku. I think he's a bit more physical than Nkunku. I think it's more physical than Nkunku, quicker than Nkunku. I wouldn't say he will flop. I'm just saying, given it's maybe too expensive, given the asking price, you could argue it's too expensive of a risk. Every player you sign, irrespective of how good they are, how physical they are, which will make people to argue that that player in question will be suitable, will do well in the Premier League, given the fact that they're physical. That's no guarantee. Every player you sign carries some measure of risk. In the case of Ekitike, my only concern is just 100 million euros is a lot of money, which makes it too much of again, an expensive risk in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. And rumors are that we're actually leading a race to sign him, but we get to that in a bit. Let's keep the topics in line. And Sofian, it looks like this is your first time here, maybe the first time participating in the chat. If that's the case, welcome. Feel at home, express yourself. All we ask of you is to keep it civil. Here on Chelsea Perspective, your opinion matters. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate you. So Keenan Drewsbury Hall had a good outing in the Conference League. In the Premier League, not quite, but at some point in the Premier League, he was one of our best players. When we were struggling, whenever he had the chance to come on, he did really well. So I hope the coming season, he'd be a lot better. I think he will, because he will start the preseason with us. I don't think the club will sell him. So another record, that particular record, the Keenan Drewsbury Hall's record, from Chelsea's perspective, not from the entirety of Europe or anything. This particular one here, we scored a remarkable 42 goals in the Conference League proper from an expected goal total of 30. So we actually overperformed our XG in the competition. So it looks like Enzo Maresca is going to be a European mastermind. He's going to be good at winning European competitions because we won that competition with ease. It was too easy, really. We were hearing from people the people that didn't trust the manager. We were hearing, or the squad, what they were saying at the time is that, yeah, it gets tougher in the quarterfinals, it gets tougher in the semifinals, it gets tougher in the final. I have a good friend, somebody I respect so much, who actually, in that particular, I can't find that particular post. He said something to the effect of one trick pony, that Manuel Pellegrini will lecture you, I don't know, teach something to the effect of teaching him how to be a manager. He's not good enough as a manager and all that. But that's, by the way, his thing. We won it in style, honestly. Look at this. We scored 42 goals from an expected goal total of 30. We overperformed our XG by 10 points. That's some performance, really. And I hope my belief that Maresca will be a European mastermind, I hope that's the case. A record by an English club in a single season in a major European competition, that's an average of over 3 goals per game. Wow. It wasn't, we didn't just win it, we won it in style. And I'm happy that that's the case, because we won it like we're bigger than the competition. Once again, no disrespect to the competition, but yeah, we did win it in style. Isco robbed KDH. It says Isco robbed KDH. How was he a player of the tournament over KDH? I don't know really. I don't want to argue against that because I did not watch all the games. I actually watched only our games. In all honesty, I'm not gonna pretend I watched all the games. I don't want to do that. But that's by the way. Hello, Sophia, and to all of you there. Let's see. What else do we have here? All right. See you later. Next time. Take care of yourself. Okay. Gyökeres is less expensive and more experience and better than Ekitike. But Ekitike, you have selling value. In Gyökeres, there's no guarantee you get any money if should you decide to sell him in a year or two, given his age. Yeah, the was is that value? Was is this selling value? I think selling value is the term that I'm looking for. Yeah. So Gyökeres carries that risk, not yeah, he's not going to have a good enough, maybe if at all, selling value, but you still get that with the Kitike because he's still very young. But that's by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. I'm going to continue reading out the records we broke in the process to winning the conference league. So if I read anyone you want to say something about, you say it. But we were seriously efficient in terms of pulling away the chances, goal scoring chances in the competition. We were brilliant at it. Okay, scored that one. I've read that one. What else do we have here? This particular one, by winning our opening 9 games of the Conference League competition, Chelsea set a club record winning streak. Okay, in major European competitions. Our previous best run was 6. So this is also from Chelsea's perspective, not the entirety of Europe. What else do we have here? Chelsea won 12 of our 13 matches in the Conference League proper. Our joint most wins in a single season of major European competition, along with the 2018-2019 Europa League wins. Win tally, maybe, or wins tally. Enzo Maresca became the first manager to lift major European silverware in his first season in charge of an English club since Thomas Tuchel achieved that feat. The feat with us in 2021. Okay, excellent. Once more, Enzo Fernandez is the second youngest starting captain to win a European trophy with an English team. 24 years old, 24 years and 131 days behind West Ham's Bobby Moore in the 1965 Cup Winners' Cup final, 24 years at a time and 24 years and 37 days at a time. Wow. Okay. Cole Palmer was the first player to assist 2 goals in a major European final since Marcelo for Real Madrid, the former Brazilian international. What a player he was in the 2018 Champions League final against Liverpool. Palmer was the first to do so for an English club since our own Juan Mata in the 2013 Europa League showpiece. Okay, anything else? So we did win that competition in style. We didn't just win it, we won it like, yeah, we're bigger than the competition. We won it like, yeah, we're the big boys in the competition. And I'm happy that it ended the way it did. But that's by the way, Bobby, welcome to the panel. I do hope you're doing well, Tebek. Ooh, thank you for joining us on the panel. Bobby, you heard everything I read out. You want to talk about any of them, or you're good? Yeah, he's on the panel with us. Yeah.
This is good stats. There's nothing else for me to add to those stats. Those are good points of information. My target here is the issue of squad building. Squad building for next season is the major thing for us now. It's going to take some serious long term, short term, and medium term planning. Short term, in that we have the tight turnaround to the World Club Cup. Medium term, as to the rest period and the start of the season. And long term is the sustenance throughout the entire season with all the sort of games we're going to have. And this time we can't mess around. We must get it right. And also, we must not be in that position where we have players come January, oh, I want to go, I want to. No, 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 no. No, we're not into that now. You're in the squad, you stay in the squad. You rotate where necessary, and where you don't rotate, you don't, especially in the beginning of the season. I always say this whenever I come on this platform. I don't want to hear any complaints of any player sat on the bench on in August. Oh, I want to leave. I want. Oh, what is that? It's just nonsense. You may not. Many players may not really get to feature, especially if everybody's fit and healthy, till about October maybe, because of how the squad needs to be. So that's what I'm looking at now at this close season. Squad building is crucial for
Yeah.
us.
It's important. This window, you can argue, is a make or break window. If we have to challenge, contend for the title next season, I think we need to be decisive, be sign. You could say sign players strategically. Areas of importance that you could say by now should be clear to the sporting directors and the owners. But let's see what they do. Before we continue, I'm going to catch up with what we have in the chat here. Please keep the topics aligned as much as you can. Otherwise, I will assume you're having a good conversation with a community member, which you have every right to, and we encourage you to do that. I will skip your comment. Please keep it aligned. The Domino says Gyökeres is not expensive. It's not more expensive. Clubs take into account transfer fee, wages, agent fees, image rights, clubs look at totally when it comes to cost. Yeah, it makes sense. And hi to you to Abiodun Paul Kugbadu. I hope you're doing well and thank you for joining us. Big up to you to Wiz Paparazzi Bits. Nice to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well, and I appreciate you finding the time to join us. Gyökeres may be better, but Ekitike fits the way Maresca plays. Gyökeres is actually, I think Gyökeres does also fit the way Maresca plays too, but Ekitike has selling value. That of Gyökeres is winding down given his age. If you understand my point. Okay. Delap is a very good player. I wish him good luck at Chelsea. We need one more striker, left wing, centre back, Petrovic in the pole. I'm let's see. Petrovic, I don't think he stays. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we have two good goalkeepers already. It looks like they are improving. The more they play, the more they improve. And the Maresca, I think he's seen that himself, which is why people were thinking that he was going to bring in Robert Sanchez to start the Conference League final. He kept Jorgensen between the sticks, and he proved him right. He was brilliant, and had it not been for his brilliance between the sticks, we could have ended the first half on that day 3 goes down. So we have good goalkeepers if Petrovic stays fine, but Petrovic looks like he wants to be starting games. And if that opportunity, if he's not going to get the opportunity to be starting games at Chelsea, rumors out there suggest that he's open to joining Monaco. Was it Monaco that we heard that they openly made it clear that they're looking for a goalkeeper? And it turns out they're interested in signing Petrovic, who's also shown that he's open to joining them, and that's with the caveat that if he's not going to be playing at Chelsea. Wiz Paparazzi Beats, nice to see you once again. I do hope you're doing well. Up big type. Thank you for finding the time to spend the time with us this morning. Sincerely do appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Big up to you to Samudieme or Meregbe or my brother, my Niger brother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us. I want a top striker, not young strikers. I'm not sure what the club are going to do. The Lap, he's a good player, but still very young, still raw, actually even more raw than Nicholas Jackson. It's just that he shoots instinctively, Nicholas Jackson doesn't. And that shooting instinctively can make a whole lot of difference. Had Jackson been able to shoot instinctively since he joined Chelsea, he'd have maybe twice as many goals as he has for Chelsea right now. But there are things Jackson do different in the lab. And here's the thing: let's be truthful here. Delap played for Ipswich Town, and playing for Ipswich Town carries a lesser pressure than being a Chelsea player. Let's not mix that up. Jackson, in terms of pressing off the ball, can be chaotic. Even as he's how he applies himself as a number 9 on the pitch can come across as chaotic, but effective. The only thing he hadn't done consistently till now is put away the chances that come his way. But more direct, you have a more direct footballer in Liam Delap, and a number 9 that shoots instinctively. That's the difference. But as I said, shooting instinctively can actually be the difference between you achieving your goal as a club or not. But that's, by the way, both their profiles differ. They can complement each other. We can actually have them both start in a single game. But signing the lab simply means the manager will have the luxury of mixing things up, of changing things up depending on the opposition. So the lab isn't coming to replace Nicholas Jackson, so we shouldn't actually be comparing the two, if that makes sense. But since people are doing that, it's important to talk about how they differ. 55 watching, 14 likes. Come on, everyone. Please hit the like button. Let's get the likes up. The likes do go a long way. In total, we'll have 163 following the show, 64 right now on YouTube. The rest shared between X and Facebook. We appreciate you all. If you're following the show on X or on Facebook, please do us a favor, drop a like on the video, follow our account on Facebook or X. And if you want to join us here on YouTube, you're welcome to do so. And Femi Saladoye says those players who ain't given enough by now should be filtered out and sold. Number one, Nkunku. Yeah, you just I'm not sure what to say right now, but let me just leave it at that. You're correct. I just don't want to go into detail. I think he's leaving, but I wouldn't want us to sell him to Tottenham. I'd rather we sell him to Manchester United. But whoever pays the more money, sell him to sell to them. Honestly, I think would still be stronger than them, in my opinion. It's not a living Chelsea. I don't know. We will find out. But he may well push to leave because if we have Estevao sign one more winger, if he continues to perform, it might not be this summer though. I think he will get a chance to prove that he deserves to be starting over whoever he gets to be competing with. But he looks like the sort of individual that if he isn't prioritized over whomever he gets to compete with, he probably will push to leave. But that's, by the way, which players are we get to that. Relax, Godwin, Magatse, relax. We'll get to that, brother. Welcome
Can I
to the
comment?
community. Yeah, go ahead.
Just on two players. First of all, Nkunku, very disappointing. I don't even want to hear him going to Spurs. I think he's let us down enough without letting us down even further and going to Spurs. But I do hear you. Perhaps the highest bidder is the way. But I'm disappointed and feel rather let down by Nkunku. He came in, got injured, was out injured a long time, gave us a patchy second season, and it was a poor show. Noni, um, I was actually having a discussion about him with a friend of mine yesterday. Um, and the guy said something which really stuck in my mind, and I thoroughly agreed with. He said, Bobby, there's something about Noni's game that is sketchy. He's not convinced. He just gives you vibes of that kind of player that will never be the player we want him to be. Now, I could eat my words saying this because I will tell you, there have been players that I thought really wouldn't do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And one or two have really made me my words vis-a-vis. I will always remember Thiago Silva for that very same purpose. I thought he was too old. I
Rudiger
thought
for
he
a
was
lot of
washed up.
people.
Yeah, not for me. I always knew Rudiger was a player, but mine was Thiago Silva. I thought he was old and washed up because I had Shevchenko PTSD, and he proved me completely wrong. So I'm not saying I'm 100% right about Noni, but his performances. I mean, for example, the goal that Sancho scored, he wouldn't be able to score that sort of goal. Certainly not on his performances last season.
He probably lose the ball trying to dribble his man.
Exactly, exactly. Now, I accept he's developing. There are a lot of developing players in that squad. Jackson, Gusto. Clearly, these are all developing players. Even Colwell to some extent. But you look at the others and you see a little bit more promise. Madueke, he looks too much like Bambi on ice. And honestly, I don't think we can mess around. We have to bring in a real winger. I have my sights on someone that is unlikely to come, but I have my sights on this player because I think if he does come, I think we should be talking Premier League. I don't. I discount Esteval Williams. I think there's a lot of noise being made about this kid. I think he's going to need time to settle. Remember, I've said this over and over and over again. But if we can get hold of Rodrigo, and the next thing will be wages this, wages that. But I will amend the wage structure for Rodrigo. If Chelsea bring in Rodrigo and then manage to do a deal to use Sancho as some sort of squad player, I really don't. I may not care too much about what happens with Noni. I hate saying this, but I'm not sure. I don't want to go into another season depending on him in the form he's given us. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
It's
with you.
not good. We can't do that in the Champions League. He's too experimental, and it irritates me so much that he feels he's better than he is. Maybe he just has that arrogant look around him. I don't know, but he just comes across as somebody that thinks he's better than he is. Yeah,
I think so too. And but we'll see what happens. And I don't think Maresca if he can be provided with a better option that it's hesitate to tell him bye bye Felicia, it's time to
yeah.
go.
Your point.
That's
I
what big
know
managers do. That's what
he
big managers do. Yeah,
he might
irrespective.
have to.
Yeah, yeah,
I
he
know
might have to.
Dante will love what I'm saying because I've tried to defend him to Dante on several occasions,
Mhm.
but I've run out of energy now. I've looked at what he did, especially in that final and against Forest. Now,
You might want to give him some space because that final, you could argue that we actually looked a bit tired, which was why we started the game with the way we did. We didn't want to run too much, and thank goodness we've always you can argue kept the ball more than the opposition in majority of the times games we've played, which led to them tiring out to an extent that yeah, the energy became balanced. So I wouldn't judge him that much for the final. I've always known that yeah, he still does have a lot of improvements, areas where he needs to improve to become Chelsea level. That final, I'll give all of them a bit of space. Even Pedro Neto, even Caicedo was giving away the ball unnecessarily. That's a sign of
yeah,
because when you're tired to a certain extent, your decision
not
making
sharp.
will become impaired to an
Mm.
extent. So
Yeah, I mean,
I
I, I,
wouldn't judge
I
them too much because of that final. Not just him. A lot of the players looked a bit tired on that day.
certainly in the first half. Look, I don't want to give the kid a disservice. I really don't. It's just he hasn't convinced me, and I think there's no room anymore for these sort of silly errors.
Hmm.
Not being able to cross the ball, not being able to shoot, and all that. The Champions League is not the competition for that. It is not at all. It is for the best of the very best. And if you are young and developing, you have to be as sharp as a tank. That's all I'm saying. I don't know, and I agree with what you're saying. If Maresca sees an option, he's going to take it.
Straight up, that's what big managers do. Yeah. The lap is better than Jackson. Yeah, I think if we say that, we should say that specific. We should be specific when we say that. Right now, Jackson better in some aspects. The lap, as I've mentioned before, shoots instinctively. Jackson doesn't. More direct. Jackson isn't as direct as the lap is. They are their profiles differ. The lap may well in the future, in a season or two, become better than Jackson. I don't think it's okay to say just point like that the lap is better than Jackson. No.
What I
Um,
would say, coach, is the lap will be good for Jackson, and
yeah,
I think it's an option. I still think we should get another striker, but I
and
think
the rumors are that we're
it's an
looking to do
option.
that.
Yeah, I think it's an option. Can you imagine playing a team with both of them on the field? That's
Mhm.
going to be crazy. That's going to really rip new ones in defenses. I think that's so. Whether he's better than him or not, I think two of them combined is a very good idea, and two of them alternatively is a very good idea. And if there's a more mature one or a different type of striker in that mixed, I think in the forward line will be ready to go. Certainly the central forward line.
Yeah. Yeah, Tobeho, where do you want to come in? Let's see. I don't know if we've read all the. I think we've read all the records. We broke in the in the competition. But if you have if you want to say talk about that, you go ahead before I catch up with what we have in the comments in the chat section, and then we start addressing the news items we have.
Yeah, all good, bro. Big up, Bobby.
Big
Big
up,
up.
big up, big up, my bro. No work for you
Yeah,
today.
no, I'm currently at work, but it's not busy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, so like you said, as Chelsea, we normally breaks a lot of records, so it's nothing new. Hopefully, this season we can break another record, and also in the Club World Cup, hopefully we can get further so that we can generate more money in order to buy some
Tobago,
new
the re-
players.
the
But
record I want us to win that Club World Cup. I'll say it now.
yeah,
I want
yeah,
that.
I wanted to, but again, I think this transfer window from 1 of June, 1st of June and 10th, we need to buy at least maybe, like you said, another striker if it's possible, because it seems like Chelsea won't allow Liam Delap to go to the under 21 Euros, which I'm pissed off because this kid wanted to go there. Now we have to change his mind. So how about getting another striker if it's possible? If not, then I don't know because I would like to see this player win his national team trophy, just like Noni Madueke, Cole Palmer, and other players. So I don't know, Bobby.
I think we should just let him go. I think we'll have enough numbers because Jean Felix will be at the Club World Cup with us.
No,
Hundred percent.
I have to beg to differ with you guys on this one.
Let's hear you. Let's hear you,
The
Bobby.
these boys aren't angling to maintain a position in the underage national competitions. Their eyes are on next year's Senior World Cup, and you're not going to start that journey if you don't go and play competitions like the World Club Cup. That is on an individual basis. On a club basis, I think we have to be totally selfish. We're not in that competition to mess around. There's 130 million euros to win by winning that competition. You give it your best shot with your best players. Everybody else will do the exact same.
And yeah, because it's business for all parties involved. Um,
Absolutely. Those
I
fans
Mhm.
aren't coming there in the United States to watch. They're coming to see your Delaps, your Palmers, your Nonnies if he's still in the squad. That's who they're coming to see. That's who will sell shirts. That's who
Mhm.
sponsors want to slap the money on Chelsea's front of shirt for. So it's not a joke competition. Whereas the underage internationals, many people don't even watch that. Certainly not in England. So He Delap will not take any convincing. Trust me.
Yeah, Tabeho is just being the typical nice guy that he is. Like you see, you hear him say the kid wants to go to that under 22.
No, Tobago's the top man. Very, very, very top.
He just wants the typical nice
I,
guy that he is. That's why I love him.
I
Um,
wanted to make some fun, but I thought I don't know what sort of humor he has when he
no,
said it
Tabeho
wasn't
don't care. Tabeho, look,
when
he doesn't take jokes personal, honestly.
when he said it wasn't busy at work. I was going to say he's working with Wesley Fofana because Wesley Fofana works from home. So
He works from home. Yeah.
yeah. So anyway,
All right. Weez paparazzi beats. I think we've answered that one. Help, yes, people keep dropping the likes on the stream. And to be aware, that I think you did share the link to your YouTube channel. If you haven't, do it again so people can go check it out. And please kindly subscribe to Tabeho's YouTube channel. Only 3 subscribers away to get to 900. We can actually help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible, especially before the season is over, which is the transfer window season. Let's make that happen. There you go. People go and subscribe to Tabeho's YouTube channel. The link is there. Excellent content, and whenever I have time, I'm always there. But every time he hosts the Blue Alliance show or the Chelsea Alliance show, you will find me there, and he's my brother. How? Hey, my brother, how you doing now? How you doing? Nice to see you. It's been a while. I do hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. Gabi Don. What a name. I like that. My brother from Nigeria. Yep, that's where I was born. I grew up in Nigeria, Zaria to be precise. Yep. But thank you. Thank you. But I'm not sure what language you're speaking this. I'm not gonna try to read it. I don't know when I'm cursing people out, thinking I'm reading something nice. Big up to you too, DJ. Soup. Nice to see you. Looks like the Ekitike deal is on. Big up Bobby and Tobago. I like Ekitike, but still, I can't
big
take
up,
my
DJ.
mind off Dante's perspective when we talked about him the other day, that him not being strong enough for the Premier League. But I watched it again. He come across as you can say he's a bit physical. He can be in that aspect of his game can improve actually. Just for
You know what?
instance, let's look at the case of Enzo Fernandez. He
Yeah,
wasn't as physical as he is right now when he joined. He was still doing the South American way. Come at him, he tries to draw a foul rather than slug it out with you. But now he slugs it out with you, and
yeah.
you can. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
What I liked about Ekatike, I see he looks like a spindly thing, but he reminds me, as far as his physique is concerned, a bit of Kai Havertz. It's who was deceptive. You thought he was spindly and gangly, and everybody could just push him over. Although with Kai Havertz, often they did. But later on, he started becoming more sturdy. He looks stronger, and I think Ekitike will be that sort of player. And if you've got Delap, who is, albeit he's better on the ball, but he's more the tough guy sort of thing. And Jackson as well, although you can say they're similar, I think I can see them alternating in the same team very easily.
I
You know
mean,
what?
good
My
mix.
mind, yeah, my mind is often is almost telling me going for Ekatike may be a wiser move than going for the well-established goal machine Gyökeres, and that's a huge statement to make. But if I heard tomorrow we got Ekatike, I wouldn't feel sad about it. Let's put it that way.
No, I will not. I will not. I'd say if we can get Jokeris over Kitike. But if we get a Kitike, I'm not going to complain. Houston, he has a lot of similarities with the Newcastle guy, Isaac. And Isaac, we actually were looking at him before he went to Newcastle, but we didn't push through. For some reason, we decided to look the other way. Look at him now. Every Chelsea, a lot of majority of the Chelsea fans will be happy. Should the club decide today to pursue and get Isaac's signature? But that's by the way, Tabeho, you want to add anything, or should I go ahead?
Yeah, I agree with Bobby. As much as we liked Chelsea to sign our personal favorite, sometimes It doesn't go that way. For example, last season, Chelsea were linked to John Duran and somewhat Amadorion. And what did we do? We were fighting against it. And those boys went to Porto and Al Nassr and do their job, scoring goals for fun. And we are like, oh man, what did he do? So overall, I think as much as we go on our sporting directors, we should trust them also, right?
And I think the reason actually we didn't sign Jean Duran was the asking price, not necessarily because the fans didn't want him. Because but Chelsea fans, they doubted him. You're correct. A lot of the fans were crazy. Why are we going for that kid? Not even 20. Was he 20 at the time or 20-year-old at the time? He had that. He hardly ever plays at the. He hardly ever played at the time. What's his name? The Englishman benched him always. They were complaining until he starts coming off the bench and scoring wonder goals because he can hit the ball quite well. They were saying then that was when they started screaming, go get him. But it was too late. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. 18 likes, we can do a lot better than that. We have 70 people plus people watching. Why are we still on 18 likes? And on the poll, we have 51 participants, but just 19 likes. We can do a lot better than that, people. Let's get the likes up. Big up to you too, DJ. I got a feeling Gyökeres is going to Liverpool. I think you did say that yesterday. That may well happen, or Juventus, because some rumors emerged late evening yesterday suggesting that Juventus had reached out. They reached out to Sporting CP. Um, I don't think. I'm not counting out Chelsea. It's still a possibility. As long as he has, he's still at a Sporting CP player, and he's not going to United, according to what we've heard. Uh, can Chelsea still sign him to Bell if you don't mind? We need experience, though, guys. So we cannot go into next season with no experienced players, especially with us playing in the Champions League. Yeah, we do need experience. We need Osimhen. Osimhen could still happen, but we have that conversation. But I still think it's not going to happen. According to what's out there, it could still happen. I'm not sure what to believe this time. Big up to you, to the princes here. Tebeho, do you think we could still, Gyökeres could still join Chelsea?
Yeah, yeah. To be honest, I think it's between Viktor Gyökeres and who's got Hugo Ekitike, because Chelsea are just toying at the moment. They don't want to people to see what is happening. For example, maybe next week we might hear something between those two. So let's wait and see. And also, Chelsea are trying to sell some players, so it's not easy. As much as the fans would like the club to buy players, but at the same time, I think we should always bear in mind that we need to offload some players. So it won't be easy, guys. So let's see what happens. But a second striker, I think it's sort of like I said, uh, a second option that we can do, because Liam Delap is a cheap one. So like a value for money, then it give us that space to buy another striker, which I like.
Yeah, I do agree with you. And like Dante
Sorry,
said
man.
yesterday, that even if the price tag was 15 million pounds, that we still pay it. So I agree. And you could, and the fact that Maresca, he's did push for us to sign him. We were never gonna let Man United sign him. So, and they've worked together. I'd be happy with the Lap and João Pedro, both ballers in the league. Yeah, João Pedro, I wouldn't mind. I actually like him, but I'm still concerned with regards to his injury record too. I don't want us to sign any player, and the sort of mistake we make with Wesley Fofana. I'm quite sure the club will be cautious also. So here's why I said Osimhen to Chelsea is still a possibility. Get the Villa goalkeeper as well, Emi Martinez. I don't think we're looking to sign any goalkeepers right now, except if he's coming for they're gonna sell him for cheap, honestly. And Emi Martinez, I'm not quite sure how good he is on the ball. which is very important to the way Maresca likes to play, irrespective of what anybody thinks, really. Um, do I think we're looking at Viktor Gyökeres? Absolutely no. I'm not sure we could get anyone between Osimhen and Gyökeres, but one more striker who is very good on the ball, air and foot. Okay, let's see what happens. So, see, this is why Tebeho, I said that Osimhen to Chelsea is still a possibility. If we're to believe what Peter Okoye is, a popular musician, you might know him, P Square, one of the brothers, who is a Chelsea supporter. I don't know if both support Chelsea, but I know he in particular supports Chelsea Football Club. So this is more like him writing a letter to Chelsea fans, or maybe appealing to Chelsea fans, or just updating Chelsea fans. I'm not sure the reason. Even I'm not sure even if this is necessary. This could be him chasing clouds. You don't know. But he's popular enough. But maybe just another way of getting more people to look at him. So that's a
Talking
small
about
opinion.
Victor Osimhen.
Yeah, let's read what he says. They're
Okay, no
friends.
problem.
They're very good friends. I've always known that. So he's the guy. I think when we won the league with Antonio Conte, he was in the dressing room with Victor Moses. So, but let's read what he says here. Was he Davido was in the dressing room with Victor Moses? I can't quite remember, but I've seen him with Victor Moses. They're Chelsea FC fans. Last summer, both Mikel, John Obi, and I made every effort to secure the signing of Victor Osimhen for Chelsea, including engaging in a three-way call right up until the transfer deadline. I want to reassure all of you that we remain steadfast in our pursuit and will continue our effort this summer. Fingers crossed. Also, okay, he's not guaranteeing anything, but he's a super Chelsea fan. Every Nigerian that knows him very well knows he's a super Chelsea fan. But I'm not sure what to make of this. But let's hear you.
Yeah, but the issue, like you always said here, right, is the wage demand at the moment. I don't think his release clause or his price tag is an issue for Chelsea. The only issue is that he might need let's say 250K per week. What about the dressing room? What about the other players? They're going to knock on the door. Why is this guy new and then getting this money? So it's not simple. Look at now,
It's not.
Sanchez earning 250, right? But Chelsea are trying to tell him you need to reduce your wages in order to stay in Chelsea. If not, we're going to send you back to Manchester United so that we can keep everyone happy. So it's not easy, coach.
It's not easy, which is why I've always said, as long as the Saudis are interested, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, can I just add to this Osimhen thing?
Hmm.
I thought he was off to Al Hilal. I really did. I was like, okay, the bag is so great. He's not going to turn it down. But was it yesterday or the day before? I saw something saying that he had cancelled his press conference to announce his new club. So I thought, okay, if that's true, then something else must be in the offing that's made him think, okay, I need to delay this. I don't know whether that was an outlet that could be believed, but if it's true that that has happened, don't be surprised. You know, Chelsea have surprised us before. You know, don't be surprised if they turn around and say, "Oh, by the way, we've got Osimhen in the building." So I can't. At this, you know, transfer season's a funny thing, and you can't really say yay or nay until somebody's holding a shirt up somewhere.
Hmm. So you think it could still happen?
I think it's a possibility. I think Gyökeres is a possibility. Our qualification for the Champions League just, you know, it just took
That
more
makes a
bets
huge
off.
difference.
Yeah, yeah. I think those two are huge possibilities. And the thing is, we are an attraction. We're more attractive to these players than anybody else because one, they know they're going to play. Two, they're in a project that has evidence that it's working. And everybody wants to leave their legacy in anything they do. So, why go to Liverpool, for example, that has won the league? And yeah, they're a good team, they're a very strong team. When you have a team that, for all intents and purposes, could be every bit as good and every bit as strong and do the same thing with a greater thirst. The reward of winning with Chelsea at this point in time is larger than the reward of winning with Liverpool at this point in time. Now, Liverpool fans will probably not like me saying that, but if I was a neutral player, I would go to Chelsea ahead of them. Who wants to go where, who's been there, seen it, done it, got the T-shirt? Now, if I may use our analogy, no, I better not use that analogy. But a coach will throw me off the panel if I do that. But what I was going to say is, it's always better to be fresh and be amongst the first than to be there and, be swallowed up in the sea of things that have happened before. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but
It
I'm trying to
does. It
make a
does.
certain
It
point.
does.
Yeah. So let's see what happens. We've got what, 10 days, less than 10 days to the Club World Cup. Some of these, do you know what? We could get all our transfers done before then, to be honest. Why
We
not?
can, but the priority is to get in the winger and the striker before the Club World Cup starts.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Not all of them. I don't think we'll sign all the players we want before. I think
we
that's
only want two or three, so
yeah.
we haven't got that bigger shopping list. Well, let's see what happens. Next week is going to be very interesting.
It will be indeed, indeed. DJ here says, if we sell Petrovic to Monaco, for me, we need a new goalkeeper. We cannot go into the new season with just Sanchez and Jorgensen. Apparently, we are willing to let Petrovic go because probably it's we don't. I don't think. I think that comes down to Petrovic wanting to be guaranteed a starting place because he's tested
Yeah,
that.
but personally, coach, to be honest, we have a lot of goalkeepers. We signed a lot of goalkeepers recently. I think we have almost 9 or 8 goalkeepers in our book. So I don't think it is wise for us to buy a goalkeeper.
And I don't think
So
we will.
yeah, so I don't
Yeah,
know,
I
man.
don't.
I don't think
I
it's
don't think we
wise.
will either.
Yeah, I don't think we will. He will take some serious opportunity, like a free agent. That's a really good goalkeeper. Before we say, okay, you know what, let's do it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Let's see what else we have here. Might not be bad in terms of Osimhen wages. The players are already, the players already got pay increase. Yeah, from qualifying for the Champions League. And yeah, we don't know, but let's see what happens. A big up to you too, my boss. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well, and thank you for joining us. And also, okay, big up to Tebejo. He's just saying hello to you. So let's move on. Let's see what Chelsea fans have to say. This guy is asking Grook for contest, and Grook says, yeah, they've been pushing Postman to join Chelsea. We have Tebejo there who says, I don't trust Seward and Paul Winstanley. They both bottled it. They will do it again. Who else? Did anybody else say anything important? This guy is laughing. Okay. Come to a compromise with the club on which demands no club is paying him what Saudi clubs are willing to pay him. That's the most truthful thing I've seen under that particular report there. All right, let's see. I don't want Osimhen or any African international who will be missing 7 weeks for AFCON. It's been expanded with more teams and yeah, brought forward to December. So if Jackson is going to stay, if we really want to sign Osimhen, then we must sign Ekitike. So if both leaves, we still have Ekitike and Delap. So, but if we're not signing Ekitike, don't sign Osimhen because both will leave, then we have just Delap. Yeah, I've been saying that. I don't want us to have two top African strikers. When AFCON comes around, they go for they travel for the competition, and we don't have the luxury of missing a player as good as Osimhen and still be playing well. So that's not a bad argument, really. Honestly, I've talked about that 1,000 times. But that's actually staff. Yeah, that's staff. Is this that's staff? That there are no two people with this name. So that's staff right there. Let's see. Would
Well,
you?
what happened to him? It's been a
He's
long,
fine.
long,
We're
long, long
friends on
time.
Facebook. We do talk every now and then. I think what led to him not coming again was that we had a little fight. But, but
No, that's not new with staff.
not new stuff. And we're still friends on Facebook, actually. I say happy birthday to him, says happy birthday to me. After the birth of my daughter, I got messages from him. We exchanged messages, sending messages about the anniversary of his brother's passing and all that. We still do talk, but we'll fix things later. I hope, because I like Stav really, but he said that he's hot headed really. Um, Dante isn't here today. Probably that is duty, which is very more important than the show, actually, in all honesty. What else do we have here? So there you go. The one in question, Bobby. CF Bayern. Do I trust them? I don't know. I have not been paying attention how accurate they've been with their reports. But Tevejo probably have been paying attention. So it's saying that Chelsea are leading Liverpool in the race for Hugo Ekitike. I really like this guy. I get Dante's complaints about him not being physical enough for the Premier League and still too young. The only issue I have is the asking price, but I don't think would pay them anything close to 100 million euros. But to Beho, do you trust CF Bayern?
Yeah, I think it's one of the good. I'm not gonna say the best. I'll say good in terms of German news. So I'll give him a benefit of the doubt, because even like I said yesterday, there's a guy that support Frankfurt, right? Always saying news about Frankfurt, and yesterday he said that Chelsea had a positive meeting with Hugo Ekitike's
Oh,
representative.
mhm.
So hopefully maybe there's something is happening again. With this price tag, they said I think it's 82 or 84 million, but Chelsea can, or whatever team that want him, can have a sort of a what you call, they said what? Favorable payment terms. So that means you can pay that money, but with your favorable payment terms.
Okay, you can pay it over time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not a bad deal, because the current market plus inflation the kid is good really, but Houston he's you can still see some aspects of when you see some aspects of his game, you'd realize that he's actually still raw. And I think we know that, just like we know that the lab is also isn't perfect. The lab, for instance, sometimes he comes across as though he has a bad touch, uh, but more importantly, he's still growing. Um, so let's see. Keep dropping the likes. Understand people. The likes do go along with Kachula. Would you take a João Pedro? I would take João Pedro without hesitation. And Stavi saying my argument wasn't with you, coach. I just left YouTube totally. Okay, we'll talk later, brother. But we stayed in touch. I thought maybe because we did have a bit of an issue at the time, and yeah. But nice to see you, Stav. I do hope you're doing well. Tabuho, I haven't actually asked you this. Do you like Ekitike? I like him, but Dante tried to get no, not Dante agrees he's a good footballer, but he did present a strong argument with regards to his physical attributes, whether he'd be able to deal with the physicality of the Premier League and all that. That he's still growing, still very young. But do you like him really? I like him from what I've seen. But I'm not saying he's a finished product. He still has a long way to go.
Yeah, like I said, even I always tell with Dante on X that I really like this kid. My only issue is his price tag. But in terms of as a player, I think he's similar problem with Jackson, but with let me say a better finisher than Jackson, right?
He's a
And
better all-round
also,
player than Jackson. Actually, we've looked at their
yes,
numbers.
exactly. And also another thing, he reminds me of Isaac. just like you said in the zone right now. He reminds me of Isaac. So clearly, if you like Isaac, this kid is good. But the only issue is his price tag. But again, like you always say, this release clause and everything recently has been crazy. So nothing you can do.
I do agree with you, Bobby. You want to add anything to that?
No, I mean, I've said what I think I know and what I feel. Let's see what happens. It's an interesting one. It really is because I get it. The physicality issue um, is an issue, and it needs to be discussed. But I'm not sure he's somebody that's not going to be able to deal with that because, as I said, I look at the Havertz situation. Havertz eventually turned out to at least show that he can cope with the physicality of the Premier League. Look, I don't know. This is where the sporting directors earn their money because the squad selection or the squad planning they must do this summer must be the best they've ever done because the next season is so massive. So if we see Ekitike walking through the door or we see Gyökeres walking through the door, and I really believe it's one or the other, I think they would have done their homework and they would have a plan for this guy in the squad.
And I trust them. Whoever if they prefer Ekitike over Gyökeres, that's up to them. But I have my preference. But uh, they have to decide what the manager. They have to work with the manager and get the player the manager believes will be more suitable to the way he likes to approach the game. Ekitike wouldn't be a bad signing, and Dante prefers Gyökeres over Osimhen and Ekitike. I prefer Gyökeres over Osimhen. I prefer. I'd like us. I'd rather we get Gyökeres over Ekitike, in my opinion. But let's see. We have the lap now, so right now I think we'd be better off getting Ekitike, in my opinion. Can we get Hugo, Victor, and the lap? We already have the lap. You
No,
want
no, 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 no.
who?
No, I'm saying we can't have Hugo, Victor, and Delap.
We
That's
cannot.
crazy.
It's not even possible, really. In all honesty. Yeah, it's it's not possible. That's a lot of money right there.
You,
Okay.
you know what's so good about this transfer window? And to show that Chelsea are back in that threatening, menacing way that we've been for years,
Mm.
is if you notice, everybody else is waiting to see what Chelsea do. So they'll go for what's left over. You know what I'm saying? They're like, look,
Mm.
which one of these guys is Chelsea gonna go get? So then we know that the others are available. That's a good position to be once again because we were there once upon a time, and now we're back. So the signs are good, but however, we've got to choose very wisely. I'm like you, coach. I think Gyökeres is actually the better shout of them all
Mm-hmm.
in terms of being that striker that will get us goals and can fit in with the other two. But so will Ekatike. It's just that he's not that finished article. So I don't know. They would have to really plan for that because we can't afford experimentation at this time. We can absorb a certain
No, we
level of
cannot.
development. Yeah, we can absorb a certain level of developing, but that developing player has to be a productive player. So we can't mess around.
We cannot. We're back in the Champions League, but we have to work to remain there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And, we're Chelsea. We have a target on our back. I was listening to Simon Jordan and Jim White on Talk Sport today, and the same old minimizing everything Chelsea's doing, trying to negate them, and
Hmm.
the knives are out from these people, these media people, and we need to now strut our stuff. They're not going to let us get away with any clumsy moves or or mishaps. We got to get it right out there and strut our stuff, no matter how young we are.
Here's what makes me happy. What was that time? Was it 2 months ago when Todd Bowley granted an interview? He did say something to the effect of uh, the how what's the exact way he phrased it, that the Premier League, the competition is so strong, something to that effect. So they know we have to up our game
Oh,
to
for sure, for
yeah.
sure,
Yeah, so
for
him
sure.
saying that, I when I heard him say that, I was very happy because that shows it's reflective of the fact that they know we have to be ready. We have to sign the best players we can. But I'm just happy the young squad we have, they're maturing right before us, quicker than a lot of people had anticipated they will. So I'm happy. Let's see how what we do this transfer market.
But look,
I
you
Yeah.
know what has helped with the appearance of maturity of this team? Injuries. When you have your injuries back and you have players that are fit, you're going to have a better team. The team is already better. When you can lean on Lavia coming on, who still hasn't played a full 90 minutes, mind. And certainly look at the difference Reece James alone is monumental.
And we
That
have to we
guy,
have to give we have to give Maresca credit the way he managed them, and he saved
yes,
them for you said when we needed them the most, he was ready, and it was
yeah.
down to Maresca managing his minutes, managing his fitness. Then just throw him in there because he's back, and then run him back into the gutter. But go ahead with what you were saying.
No, no. Reece James is massive for Chelsea. He's one of the few players that were out with injuries that fans could not even contemplate, getting rid of him. Even we'll sit and wait. That's he is that important. And as you can see, a fit Reece James changes the whole team. My concern now is Thomas Tuchel's seen this, and
Yeah,
you know what he's gonna do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
Drain the life out of him and then
City.
send him back to Chelsea.
Well, I hope not, but it wouldn't surprise me.
I You will see. But Maresca, he can. He proved a lot of people. He has proven a lot of people wrong. He knew exactly what he was doing with Reece James, and you could argue had he deployed them in the fullback position and utilize him in a traditional manner, chances are he'd be out now, and we'll be talking about when how how long is he going to be out. I'm just happy that he did his thing and didn't listen to the noise, the complaints about how he's not using them in a traditional manner and all that. But he knew exactly what he was doing, and but
Yeah.
yeah. My boss is saying he prefers Osimhen over Gyökeres. Gyökeres kind of reminds me of Jackson. His goals came from flanks. Okay, um, well, let's see. I prefer him over Osimhen for reasons I've explained, but that's by the way. What else do we have here? Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go along with some good news. Yeah, again, everything we've addressed today, all good news, no bad news at all. Chelsea have already started working internally on a new deal to be proposed to Moises Caicedo. Talks to start soon. I'm happy. And that's the new contract. You earn what you work for, even though he's still here until 2099. They've started discussing a new contract because he's worked for it. He's shown that he deserves to be paid more. And I've heard people say we don't pay well. We do pay well, but the contracts we offer to players, the contracts are structured in a manner that you earn what you work for. You don't just sit on the bench, whether your head or your arms are broken, you still be earning the same amount of money, even without working. But Bobby, let's hear your thoughts on this. I think it's a good thing. I can't. We can't hear Bobby. Tobias, can you hear him?
No, 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 no.
Okay, you go ahead. Answer.
Yeah,
Okay, there you go.
absolutely. As far as I'm concerned, Moises Caicedo and indeed Enzo Fernandez are the new Chelsea. That's the platform on which we're going to build, as
Hmm.
well as Cole Palmer, of course. You know, they are the foundation. You can see it already, and you can see the development as we speak coming out. You know, the Chelsea Foundation, Levi Colwell, Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, uh, uh, Cucurella, James, Cole Palmer. That's Chelsea right there. They are now the new dressing room. So if we give him a contract till 2099, as you say, so be it. He's earned it.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Tomejo. Your
Well,
thoughts? I think it's well deserved for him, really.
yeah, 100%. I think all the players deserve this. So not all, not all, not I'm not gonna say Robert Sanchez, but most of the players deserve
Even
this.
Sanchez
Be-
deserves it, man. Come on, but even he deserves.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He did save us a lot of points, irrespective of how you can say those mistakes that we were counting. I think he did show he can. He's actually a good goalkeeper if he can be one concentrate 100% throughout the game. He'd be fine. But go ahead.
Yeah, 100%. Like you say right now, Sanchez, in our previous, I think 11, 12 games, he's been fantastic for us. So it seems like these players, they just knew that, you know what, it's all about now or never. We need to make sure to win most of the games so that we can qualify in the Champions League. So I was happy with Sanchez doing that. So overall, Moses Caicedo, player of the season, he deserves that. But also, I want to talk about Levi Colwell. Levi Colwell last season under Poch, he was playing as a left back. I don't know why. This season, he's playing at his natural position. I'm happy. He's been very, very good recently.
He's been excellent actually. If you remember last season, I did talk about how he wasn't able to shield his ball effectively.
He's what?
I'm not sure how differently to phrase it, but leave me alone, man. So, but he's improved that aspect of his game. Um, he's gotten better. I think Maresca. A lot of people were arguing that it doesn't improve players, but he's improved all the entirety of our squad except for Nkunku, who you could argue wasn't serious, didn't show any seriousness, or maybe bent on leaving, maybe. But look at from Enzo Fernandez operating as a deep line playmaker, also crashes the box, getting goals, getting assists. Noni Madueke, you could argue to an extent he's refused to improve. Maybe the time will come, but a lot of our players have improved. Even Trevor Chalobah has improved. He looks more confident on the ball. Um, you could argue the set piece coach. Give him credit too. Robert Sanchez, his high claim numbers improved towards the end of the season. After mid-season, he doubled his high claim numbers, which is very important in helping us deal with set piece because he comes off his line, uses his hand to great effect, and help just no need to even for our defenders to actually fight those aerial monsters we have to deal with in the Premier League. So his high claims improved very well. I think he deserves he deserves a pay rise too. If you remember, there
Yeah,
Yeah,
were
and
games where he was the reason we didn't lose, or the reason it didn't end in a draw with some, because he can pull off some magnificent save as he is. The only issue is concentrating throughout the duration of the game and
execution.
not at one point in the game give the ball to the opponent and lie as if he's begging them to please score against us. But go ahead with what you're saying.
Well, honestly, Robert Sanchez, I have to say, look, we are a developing team. This is one thing we have to really not lose sight of. And when a player develops within that team, we can't just easily turn our back on him. Robert Sanchez and indeed Jorgensen, they've given a goalkeeping headache. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see them being our goalkeepers for next season.
I
You
think
see,
they both will be here, number one
I
and number
believe
two.
they will. I believe they will. Now, why am I saying this? Yes, Sanchez, I could have dragged him out of Chelsea myself at times last season. His distribution was absolutely disgusting. He'll give the ball away. That's his weakness. It wasn't so much his shot stopping. He just went through this period where he couldn't distribute the ball and he couldn't claim aerial balls. Well, towards the end of the season, he was doing all that. Robert Sanchez was immaculate. He wasn't giving the ball away. He was relieving us of pressure by going and claiming balls from corners,
Yep,
free
that
kicks.
helped long. That helped a lot.
Oh, gosh, yeah. Certainly against people like Forest, against Nottingham Forest, that was massive. Even to some extent, second half against Newcastle, when Burns, what's his name? For something Burns, I've forgotten his name. That big giant of a guy.
Ben.
Yeah, Danny Burns. When he was coming forward to try and head the ball in and bully everybody in his sight, Sanchez just came and claimed. He plucked it from the air. So I hope I'm not going to regret this, but I think he's done enough to stay in the team. Just he still has to maintain it and keep improving. Another player that everybody's like, oh, he's going to be sold. He's going to be sold. I'm not so sure. Chalobah. I'm not so sure Chalobah's going anywhere because Maresca looks like he likes him. And
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 if he likes you, that's it.
yeah, yeah, and I wouldn't be upset because you see, Chalobah carries that Chelsea spirit. It's that spirit that from the academy that pushed us across the line against Forest, that made us look strong against Betis. I mean, gosh, in that second half, in the first half, it looked like all the physicality belonged to Betis. In the second half, it was men against boys. We looked bigger than them, and that's not something that happens a lot in the season.
He-
Physically, we look
yeah.
bigger.
Instant Bobby, I was not. There was no time. I wasn't at any time concerned that we were going to lose that game. I knew the start they were going to be all over us because I looked at the numbers and realized they press. They're pressing. The pressing is the only thing they do better than us.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did you watch that video where I said why Chelsea will most likely beat Betis than any other thing happening? I looked at the numbers.
Yes, I watched that video.
Exactly. I looked at the numbers. The only thing they do better than us, pressing, which means they will start better because they press better. But if we are able to weather the pressing, they will get tired at some point. They're not machines. So Maresca knew exactly what he was doing. And if you listen to what Levi Colwell said post game, he says something that suggests that Maresca had him on the bench and made sure he was watching the game to see where the spaces are. So he thanked Badiashile for starting, but because Badiashile did well too. So Maresca knew exactly what he was doing. And you could argue, had we started the game with the players that played, we believed were going to start, and they started the previous game, chances are they tire out quickly and make a lot of mistakes and concede goals. But he started players that hadn't played for a while. They started where that pressing to an extent now brought in the better players, you could argue, that helped us run them over. So he knew exactly what he was doing. And sorry for cutting you off, Bobby. Go ahead.
No, you're right. I mean, it was a tactical ploy. It was very astute. He saw. You see, there's something that I can't remember what I was listening to, and they said this, and it was so correct. The Premier League is so ferocious that by the time you come towards the end of the season, in a way, our calendar, as much as it knackers the players, it also helps the players because we come in to these European finals better conditioned than anybody else from any other part of Europe.
And we
And
smashed the heck out of them in Europe last season. All of them.
yeah, yeah, I
Arsenal beat
mean,
them, Liverpool beat them, then we beat them, and the score lines weren't even close. Go ahead, what you were saying.
yeah, and a huge part of that is because physically we have better conditioning and they can't really answer to it. The reason being is that that level of conditioning only comes with that level of season. You can only get that from playing the kind of season we play from beginning to end. And yes, you have players coming in later on, like Reece James, because they've just got some fitness and so on. But even they're coming in for the time period that they're given on the pitch. And this is why you have to manage players. They're coming in at a higher fitness level than their European counterparts. And that really showed against Betis. In the second half, we were running better. They had 2 extra days rest, mind. Yet they didn't we looked the fitter team. We were running better. We looked stronger. They just had no answer. And that is down to playing in the Premier League.
Yeah, and the manager realizing, yeah, he can manage the squad better and not overplay one a particular set of player while the others sit on the bench doing nothing. He utilized, I think, he maximized our squad depth effectively. He did, honestly, which led to people complaining, why didn't Rhys James start? Blah blah blah. He knew exactly what he
Oh,
was doing.
silly.
So credit to him, really,
Yeah,
honestly.
I didn't buy that nonsense about Reece
Mhm.
James should start. He came out himself. He said, "Look, I've got to protect the boy." Yeah. When he saw that he needed him, he brought him on. I
They
think
were trying
sometimes.
to make up. Go ahead, Bobby. Sorry, I apologize.
No, I'm just saying that I think sometimes we have some people they want to appear too clever that they know it all, as it were.
And they
But
were trying to make up argument that he had. You could say he and Rhys James, as Americans would say, they're fighting behind the scenes. They're not. It turns out they're actually close.
yeah, there was no fight. Reece James knew exactly why he was brought on later. It just makes sense. He knew he was always going to get onto the pitch. It was just a matter of time. And Maresca knew that Gusto didn't really have his best game, but in order as not to kill his spirit, he kept him on for the full first half and didn't take him off until the second half. That's good man management.
That's it is indeed, and he can only get better at it. He's not perfect. Yeah, I didn't like how he handled Joao Felix. You know that already. Remember the time when ESPN pundits said that Chelsea players are on 25-year deal, and they said this is said that a year ago. We did put them to shame by qualifying for the Champions League. Nobody, nearly all of them. I think it was only two people that said, "Yeah, we're going to finish in the top four." Nearly all of them said Chelsea weren't going to finish there, but I've always known that Nottingham Forest will fall off. I didn't know we were going to finish as
Yeah,
high
you
as
said
fourth.
that.
I knew we were going to finish in the fifth, inside the top five, but I didn't expect it to be to. That is the way we did it. Was I'm just happy nobody will come out and say, "Yeah, you're playing in the Champions League because we did well in the Champions League," or
Yeah.
because the other team won, the other team lost. Sorry, Bobby, were you saying something?
No, you're right. One, you did say quite steadfastly that Forest was going to drop off. And secondly, yes, we qualified for the Champions League on complete merit,
Hmm.
unlike Newcastle that had to rely on Villa. And another argument that people aren't really remembering because they're saying, oh, it's only the Conference League, it's only the Conference League. Well, first of all, if you're in it, you have to win it. And secondly, Chelsea didn't qualify for the Conference League. We only got into the Conference League because Man United won the FA Cup, remember?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and
true. Yeah.
and they blew their Europa chance that should have been with us. If it had been Chelsea in that final against Spurs, I can assure you we'll be holding that trophy as well. You
Oh
know,
yeah. We don't lose fight. We hardly ever lose finals.
well, not to Spurs, not to that Spurs. Let's put
Mm.
it that way. So, people, there's so many short memories here. They're like, oh, Chelsea qualified for the Conference League, you're in a competition. No, it was by default that we went into that competition. And the way we took the competition to get the manager to know the players, to know the academy, to motivate the academy boys, I think we gave an example of how a big team should use a competition like that.
Yeah.
And also, Bobby, I remember I was talking with TT on my channel that personally I want Chelsea to play in the Conference League because first thing first, we haven't won it. Another thing was about the academy players to get more minutes under a new coach, and I'm glad we played in the Conference League. Even the Europa League, I think we would have won it. By Conference League, I wanted to play it for the sake of us never won it and won it all. So I'm happy about it.
Yeah. And more importantly, I'm happy we won it. We didn't just win it, we won it in style. Hi to you too. Tell more Ngwenya. Nice to see you. That sounds like a Kenyan name. Correct me if I'm wrong, but nice to have you here, brother. Welcome to Chelsea's Perspective. If this is your first time in the comment section, feel at home, express yourself. Your opinion matters. All we ask of you just to keep it civil. IB, nice to see you, my bro. Big up my people. H Place Gang, you and who H Place Gang. H Place positive gang. That's where I am. You are H Place negative gang with the beautiful game and the others. You know yourselves and Dante. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I hope Chelsea don't sell Chalobah. If the manager likes him, he stays. Um, and nothing says again you're committed to the measure that the fact that he was at Crystal Palace playing week in, week out, wasn't he? And we called him back. He came back, didn't rebel. Whenever he was called upon, he gave 150%. And towards the end of the season, he was one of our best defenders. Kept it clean, looked much better than he was. He had ever been in a Chelsea shirt. So for me, everything comes down to the manager. If he likes him, he stays, and he's become more experienced now. He's a no. He's good considerably good on the ball, but we need a no nonsense defender like him. Doesn't always has to be clean. Just defend, clear the ball when he needs to. If that makes sense. Sanchez got better when he stopped starting with a side to side passes, but putting the ball away. You can argue that the way he started getting better, but more importantly, that what he added to his game that made a difference in terms of how we dealt with. We were able to effectively deal with aerial threats. His high claim numbers improved significantly. He comes off his line, uses his hand as an advantage, and helps us deal with it. That went a long way, really. We didn't concede too many from set piece since he started doing that. I be here saying I think we need to stop talking about strikers, but need to address the left back position. I think Hato will eventually join us. Do we want to give Viega a second chance? He comes back first of all, then the club will decide what to do with him. I think his loan spell ends at the end right now. Am I wrong, Tabeho? I think he comes back right now.
Yeah, for now it comes back. Hopefully the club can find a solution. But the only issue with him, right? If Chelsea are looking to buy a new centre back like Mark Guehi or Guhi, I don't want to butcher his name, right? At Crystal Palace, and meanwhile this guy wants to play as a left centre back, I think we're going to sell him. So
Let's
that's the issue.
let's see what happens. Absolutely only if Ola agrees to play left back. I'd like Ola at Chelsea. He can play on either side, but I'm not sure we're looking to sign him. About Poch, fans can I take a step back and apologize to Maresca. They don't have to, honestly. They don't have to. Liam Delap flopped at three championship clubs, including Stoke City, Preston, Hull City. But his game has improved. Yeah, I'm with him where he is right now. I don't want to go back to look at how he flopped at those places. 31 likes, people. We can do a lot better than that. We still have 56 people following the show. We have 70 plus. And John, thank you. I will find time to take care of the moderator thing, but thank you for letting me know that you're the one. Warden X is, we are looking at Bastoni. Yeah, I've seen that. Why didn't I bring that up? And I really like him. But I don't know whether to believe that or not. Well, what outlet actually reported the Bastoni news? I'm not sure which one it was. Let's see what other item we have lined up here. Why isn't this? Okay, we're here, so we go to this one here. What do we have on that page? I think after that, next thing will be news hunting, and tomorrow we could do the season review. All right. Chelsea are weighing up an approach for Everton centre back Jared Branthwaite. Branthwaite, I'm not sure. But Toffee's manager David Moyes is reluctant to sell him. Who was that said he's injury prone? Was it you, Tabejo?
Say what?
That Branthwaite is injury prone.
Yeah, yeah. Even shared the injury history to someone on X. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let me send you on your DM then.
Yeah, but just go ahead. We can just talk about it. We don't have to look at it.
Okay, personally, like I said, I would love to sign this kid because I think this kid is so good. And I know Everton were asking for 70 million last season, but this season they might ask for less, maybe 50, because of his contract. It ends in 2026, if I'm not mistaken. So if we buy him, hopefully we can manage his injury record because it's so bad, man. I can't lie.
All right, just send it to me. I can look at it later. If it's worth producing a video for, I would do that. But from what I've seen so far, I like him, but we don't want to risk the risk of signing an injury-prone player. We've been there before, and it's it's not good to even risk it at all. So let me see if anything new has emerged since the show started. Quite a lot. That's we scrolled. Um, it looks like it's still loading. Probably will take a while. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, if anything new is there. If you are in the chat, if you have any questions, drop it there and we'll try to address it. Let's see if anything new to talk about. Otherwise, we'll be rounding up soon. Tomorrow, chances are we do the 2 hours ago. Daston, I think I've seen that. Maybe I need to refresh this. Nothing new here. I need to refresh it to see if anything new emerged. But if you're in the chat, if anything new emerged for us, the show progress, please do let us know. We'd really appreciate that. More likes, people, more likes. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. 31 likes, we can do a lot better than that. Sorry, this is taking a lot of time. Liam Delap will be like Demba Ba. Demba Ba actually, I think he's good on the ball actually. I can't quite remember what sort of player he was actually, but a good player, a good number 9, a poacher. Did he play together with his was the Senegalese guy at the time that scored that crazy goal against Petr? I can't remember his name when he was playing for Newcastle United. Did he play together with him at Newcastle? Did he play for Newcastle? Can't quite remember.
Yes.
Okay. This particular report here, former Chelsea defender Paul Parker, I'd be astounded if Chelsea sign him, Garnacho. It doesn't make any sense, in my opinion, with the wide players they've got already. Do Chelsea, given the size of their squad and what they've got, do they need someone like Garnacho? I'd say no. Yeah. Somebody says to me here, Papi Cisse was the name I was looking for. That goal was crazy, and it wasn't a mistake. He knew exactly what he was doing. The way he did strike the ball on that day, he knew he was going in. Papi Cisse was that's the name I was thinking about. Thank you there, Kojo. And Yumadu, I appreciate you. Mabas also, thank you for reminding me that Papi Cisse was the name I was looking for. Garnacho in purgatory right now. Dwight York backs Chelsea to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. Why would you not? He can still do it with his ambition and ability. If Chelsea are playing the way they can and creating for him, he's still an incredible forward. I see no reason why. I don't know. I don't think it happens. But I've heard rumors that were interested in signing him for the Club World Cup. You could argue driven by his commercial value, not necessarily his ability as a footballer these days, in my opinion. Um, I don't know. I don't know anybody on the panel want to talk about that.
No, no, no.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I don't know if Bobby has anything to say, but I'd say no. Don't even sign him for Club World Cup. But I can see our owners doing that because of his commercial value. He's still that popular, really, and which is why he's he's trying. I think he's talked about leaving, which is why his current club they're trying to give him a new contract, right? So he knows exactly what he's doing. That's why we keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. I want CR7 at Chelsea. The owners, I can see them doing that. Chelsea need to sign Gyökeres. Okay, no one would stop us if we do. Stephen Moore, do I think would sign him? Honestly, I don't know, but that's just me. He wants Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea. CR7 would score goals unlike Jackson. So Jackson has been what has he been scoring? Zeros, not goals. All right. Liam Delap, Graham Souness. This is comment from football commentators and former players. Graham Souness, unlike what I have said about Alejandro Garnacho, I think the lab has been educated in the correct way. Okay. Imagine CR7 doing Sue celebration after scoring goals. I'm not sure what's gonna happen there. Some people Dastan, he's such a talent. I don't know how soon he'd join us, but we wait. CF Bayern, okay, at the moment, Chelsea hold the best cards in the Ekitike poker. Chelsea are already in dialogue with the players' side and could soon get serious, but Liverpool are also still in the race despite the upcoming record transfer of Florian Wirtz. I don't think if Liverpool sign Wirtz, I don't think they'd push through for Ekitike. If, in fact, if the asking price remain as high as we've heard, if something north of 70 million, if they pull through, if they sign, succeed in signing Florian Wirtz, I don't think that they'd still be in the race to sign Ekitike because that'd be a lot of money in this on
Yeah,
two
but
players.
good thing about Liverpool, right? It seems like Luis Diaz might go to Barcelona or Saudis, but most likely Saudis. And also, they would like to sell Darwin Nunes. So that means they'll still have space to sign a striker. And Nunes is being linked to Saudi clubs also. You know those clubs. If Liverpool says 80 million, they're going to pay it. So they still have a chance to sign any striker. So if Chelsea are serious in terms of Hugo Ekitike, I think they should wrap it right now before Liverpool getting extra funds to sign him.
I think that makes sense. Just wrap it up before Liverpool gets the funds to come put up a good fight. Any chance of signing Rodrigo? Hmm, let's talk about it. Good question. Yeah, Q&A time. If you have any questions, put it in the chat. We like answering your questions, and this is the time for it. It's difficult. I think he was Bry, our friend. He's again member of the panelist group there. She has an excellent football knowledge too. She jokingly said something to the effect of, "Yeah, come to Chelsea to come play with Nicholas Jackson and Delap." Okay, Heston,
I
and
was trying
then
to.
then the Brazilian, I don't know whether she's a journalist or not, but she also does have excellent ball knowledge. What's her name? She said, "Yeah,
So,
she
Froto,
who?
Froto on X, right?
No, not Froto. She's been on Soccer
Nata-
Perspective.
oh,
Oh my goodness! But let's
Natalia.
no. Let me just say what she said. So she said some. She responded by saying he Rodrigo would want to come to Chelsea, play with Estevao Willian and Andrea Santos, and that makes sense. So the possibility is still there. But here's why I believe it's difficult. New manager, you could say new perspective, maybe new perspective would be correct. He was on the verge of leaving Real Madrid, and you could argue, had Carlos stayed, he definitely leaves. But they have a new manager, everything changes. And weren't you the one that said what Javi said? He wants to keep him.
Yeah, Xavi Alonso said it during his first press conference that he would like to keep him.
So that changes everything,
Yeah, also
right?
another thing, yes, and also another thing, right? The clubs that want him, they have to pay 100 million. Also, remember his salary was almost 250 per week. That means you're going to give him a pay rise also. So, do you think the club will risk that? I don't think
No.
so. Look at even now, Nico Williams. He's the release class of 43 million, but the issue is his current salary, 250 per week, and it seems like he doesn't want to reduce his asking salary price. So that's why clubs are not going for him aggressively. And he's a good player, but no one is willing to pay him that salary.
A lot of money, and it's not like he doesn't score tons of goals. He's an excellent winger, but he doesn't score tons of goals. You're talking about Nico Williams, right?
Yes, Nico Williams.
Yeah, I don't see us signing him except if he takes a pay cut. Um, Rodrigo, it's not gonna happen. I get it. It does make sense to a certain measure. If you remember that Estevao Willian is coming, you could argue currently the biggest up and coming name in Brazilian from Brazil. Both him and Andrea Santos. Those two, you could argue, the biggest up and coming names from Brazil right now, emerging talents maybe. Even the lure of playing with them at Chelsea, I don't think is is enough for Rodrigo to say, you know what, let me take a pay cut and go play at Chelsea. No, I don't think so. How old is Rodrigo? Because it's something that a young player could do. How old is he right now? Let me check.
Who,
I think
Rodrigo?
it's 23, 24.
Rodrigo is 23.
I think it's
Yeah,
20.
23 or 24, you can check, but
Let me check. 24. So here's the thing. He's still at that age where you could argue, um, if he's not too sure, if he feels like Real Madrid disrespected him, he's currently 24. Disrespecting him, I think he probably wouldn't mind taking a pay cut to join Chelsea. If in fact
Also,
he's eager to play with his Brazilian, because they are teammates now, since both have been called up to the Brazilian first senior national team, right? So the lure to play with them could lead to him deciding, you know what, I'm going to take a pay cut to play at Chelsea. As long as there's a path to me earning a lot more if we keep winning things and doing well. So the possibility is there. So I'm not going to rule that out, really. And we
um,
haven't heard much about Gittins and the other players that we were linked with them again, we were linked with, but the possibility is still there. Let me just leave it at that. Let's hear Bobby. Looks like he had something to add to that.
yeah, I mean, while you were talking, I was listening to this bid that Juventus has made for Gyökeres. I was trying to find out whether it's a concrete bid or what, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. But it just shows how sought after he is. I don't think we can rule out Rodrigo. I know the figures are high, but it would require at least a basic pay reduction for him to do
And
that.
he's still at that age where it's not going to be all about money.
Well, no, not really. I can see him do it because he's a Brazilian international, and there is absolutely no way he has anywhere to play. I think he's right down the pecking order now at Real Madrid. He's probably third or so. You know, you've got to go past Mbappe, and I've forgotten whoever else they've got there. So he's not going to get that marquee game time that he would want. Whereas if he comes to Chelsea, he's a star immediately. He's into that game time. So I think he'll do that with the incremental wage situation if it's on offer. However, Florentina Perez is looking to make money on him, which is my concern. How much money is left to be seen? I don't think they'll frustrate him, and I don't think Alonso will hold on to him unnecessarily. Although he did say that he likes him, but you know they've got an oversubscription of players on the left hand side. So we just have to wait and see. Really, as I said, next week is going to be really interesting.
Yeah, it wouldn't make sense to rule him out. The possibility is there. And it makes sense that he would want to play with, you could say, two of the top performing Brazilian young stars.
Yes, absolutely.
So that makes sense, really. And more importantly, he's at that age where money isn't necessarily the biggest issue. As long as he's earning enough, he'd be all right. At a certain point, if he was in the late 20s or early 30s, that's when they start thinking about retirement and how much they can make before they retire, in my opinion. But let's see. Gyökeres has 39 goals. Yeah, I take him over Osimhen, honestly. And he's performed consistently over multiple seasons, in my opinion, even from the championship to the Portuguese league, he's done really well. I take him anytime, any day over Osimhen. I think he's 24, Kojo. I think he's 24. Estevao on the right, Rodrigo on the left. Estevao would like to play in the 10th position. But even on the right, Rodrigo on the left, Cole Palmer centrally, perfect for us, really. But let's see what happens. Kuchila, thoughts on Sunderland AFC? Do you think they will stay up in the Premier League? I don't know their squad. I don't know their squad. If I see their squad, then I will be able to tell. And I need to see what they have. And I don't know really. I haven't watched them for like in 1,000 years, really. But if I see them, I'd be able to tell. Because yeah, it's difficult to say right now. It's too early, really. My best. Gyökeres has 39 goals to Osimhen's 26. Yeah, from just 3 games more, he has also played in England. So no settling in into English life. Yeah. So that's important too. I will take 39 goals in Portugal to 25 in Turkey. I agree with you. That's another good reason actually. But even before getting to that, Gyökeres for me is a more complete footballer than Osimhen, but that's an argument for another day. Osimhen is good. If we had Mourinho, he'd probably prefer Osimhen over Gyökeres. And I don't want us at any time. I've said this, and who was that brother that said it in the chat today? I don't want us to have two top African strikers. Whatever you think of Nicholas Jackson, he's the top African striker, and we're not that much of a unit yet that you could argue should we lose two of our players to Afghan we'll still be all right. We're not quite there. Honestly, I don't want us to risk that. But that's by the way, if you have any questions, so you broke it down well. Gyökeres over Osimhen anytime, any day. But are we still looking to sign Gyökeres? I wouldn't rule that out. Anything can still happen. Like Bobby said when he saw that report, he did a bit of an investigation, and to him, it's nothing serious. Honestly. Um, let's see what else we have here. If Chelsea sign Gyökeres, Gyökeres will be our starting striker for Chelsea, and Delap will become a backup. We have a lot of games: the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Champions League, Club World Cup, yeah, and the Premier League. We have tons of games. So everybody will play. Will play enough games, and they're not gonna even complain. I don't want us to play again. Play our players in a manner that they burn out before we get to the mid season. Actually, it's a huge risk. 39 goals in La Liga, bigger than Portugal goes, but we're talking about the Turkish league, and yeah, in Liga Portugal, so to speak. Okay, greater than 26 goals in Turkish league. Yeah, definitely. So you just shorter version of what Stav said. Yeah, Stav did break it down, and that's excellent. Bobby, did you see that? This is
Sorry,
very
what was that,
fascinating.
coach?
What Stav said. Why Gyökeres is the better option? I get it. Osimhen did well in Italy, but look at it. Gyökeres scored 39 goals to Osimhen's 26 from just 3 games more. He has also played in England before, yeah, in the championship, and he did well in the championship. Actually, so no settling down needed. No settling into life needed. It would take 39 goals. I would take 39 goals in Portugal to 25 goals in Turkey. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't know till you know, do you? I mean, yeah, you have to go on probabilities, and the probabilities of his efficiency is so much is very high. It is higher than Osimhen's, but you don't know until you know. You know, his style of play is effective in front of goal, but I think Osimhen all round he will cause a problem. All round he has this gangly gait that's just so difficult to handle, and he's a
Excellent.
strong
He's
boy.
excellent aerially too. I think he's better
That's,
aerially.
that's another thing. So,
Mhm.
Osimhen is a fantastic player. There's no doubt
He is.
about
He
it.
is. Yeah.
I take very, very much on board what you've said about the African Cup of Nations. If he goes and Jackson goes, that will just leave Delap on his own. Really, that's a bit curious. But I don't know what the plans are for for Mark Gui. That's another one who is developing. I don't know. Next week will be interesting. I feel I'm not saying I know anything, but I think the bidding for us, I don't know about anybody else, but for us will be will either go for Ekitike or go for Gyökeres, as I see it.
I do agree. Listen, I just have to echo what you said. Both are good players, but where you have a choice, you have to select which one. I think, in my opinion, Gyökeres will be more suitable to the way Maresca plays. That's
I
just my
think so.
opinion.
I think so. And it
Yeah,
looks quite likely that Sesko is
yeah.
going to Arsenal.
But Osimhen wouldn't be a bad signing either. But again, once again, we can have Osimhen and have Nicholas Jackson. Afcon comes around, they both will be gone. We're not that much of a unit yet that we can miss them and still do well. We're not.
No.
We're not even close to being a unit where I get it. We've done well. We finished the season well. We still have a long way to go in terms of being a strong unit that even if we miss 3 of our starting players, we'll still be all right. We're not quite there yet. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section. It's still news hunting. Nothing new has emerged. If anything new emerges as the show progresses, we'll talk about that. If Chelsea sign Gyökeres will be, I think we've addressed that one too.
I
Anything,
was going to say, this Sesko to Arsenal, it looks quite likely to happen, but it's not something I'm really keen on, to be honest, because the extra physicality is going to give a team that's already very physical is it doesn't bode well. But I think if we strengthen, we shouldn't be worried about them.
yeah, we shouldn't. Sesko is still a potential, just like Delap, but uh, slight advantage because Delap he's played in England. That-
Yeah,
So that makes a huge difference. Sesko a huge risk, and I think they're paying a lot for him.
yeah, just under 70 million, 60,
So that's
70.
still that's still a lot of money. We were interested in signing him last year, but we decided not to go through with it. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I haven't seen anything new. I'm waiting for your questions. If you have any questions, drop it in the comment section and we'll try to address it. What else do we have here? We'll be rounding up soon. Even Nunes did something similar to Gyökeres when he was Jackson and Delap's age in the Portuguese league. But what has happened to that guy? He does everything else right except put away the chances. Even if you remove the goalkeeper, he's still not. He still wouldn't score. I'm not sure what happened to him really. Maresca should change Jackson's position to left wing. He can actually play well in that position. He did play there on the Pochettino, and he tracks back effectively if you play him on the left hand side. He after all, he started as a winger really. But that's by the way. Let's see what else we have here. But coach, if Chelsea sign Osimhen and Delap, if Osimhen goes to Afcon, Delap will take over. But here's something I want to say quickly that for me does make sense. I don't think we're actually seriously signing any of one of Osimhen or Gyökeres. Why do I say that? Because that's probably what part of the conversation the club had with Delap. He wouldn't want to come to Chelsea and not be playing. Because you're correct. If we sign Osimhen or Gyökeres, Delap isn't going to be playing that much, or playing the sort of games he would want to. Probably be playing in cup games, or maybe one of them playing in Europe and one of them playing in England, and you guessed it, he'd be playing in the Premier League, and while the more experienced player will be playing in Europe. I think that's probably part of what they discussed when they had the conversation. What led you to say to them being able to convince him to come to Chelsea, because he had other option. He had the option to join Manchester United. He's a much better striker than Højlund. He's a much better striker than what Everton has right now, and Everton, they wanted him. So if he knew in advance that we'd be signing either Gyökeres or Osimhen, I don't think he'd come to Chelsea. That's just my opinion anyway. But let's see what happens. If we sign Osimhen, I'll be happy. But if I have to choose, I'll choose Gyökeres, and I've told you why. I just don't want us to have two top African strikers, because we don't have the luxury to lose them both and still be doing well. That's my opinion. Look at the absence of Nicholas Jackson alone. When he got injured, even Cole Palmer started underperforming. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes will go a long way. And this is Tree Trend Top says that Ekitike has a great potential. He should not join Chelsea FC now. It will frustrate him like it did to Salah. Then if we don't sign him now, we better not go back for him in the future, because it'd be a lot costlier. Just like Isaac, we had the opportunity to sign him. We weren't that serious. We didn't push through to sign him. Now, should Newcastle decide to sell him, they'll be asking for the north of £100 million. So yes, if we're indeed, and clearly we are serious about signing, I think we'll get the deal across the line. We're into, if you're good enough, if you have a high ceiling, and I think we don't mind signing you. I think Ekitike looks like he's going to end up at Chelsea, and if you see it from that perspective, and if you also take a step back and think about why the Lab chose us over Manchester United, probably because we convinced him that he's our number 9. So it's difficult to say what's going to happen, but we wait. We're there. The silly season is upon us. The Lab can do something similar to what Anelka did at the start of 2008 to 2009 season, when Drogba got injured in 2008 summer preseason. I don't think he would want that, because he had other opportunities. I think he's going to be starting games a lot. Coach, it's called competition. It depends on who. Listen, remember what we did yesterday? Was it yesterday? Yeah, during the news roundup show, where we took time to compare the numbers of the players were rumored to be interested in signing to those of our current players. to conclude whether they're coming as to compete with the players we have, or they're coming to bench the players we have, or vice versa. However you want to see it, because yeah, if the disparity in output between the two players, if our current players are way better, then yeah, the other ones are coming. Whoever that is coming in as a backup. But if they're close, if the disparity in their output isn't that much, then yeah, you can call that competition. Because if it's not close, if it's a yawning gap, it depends who's if the person that is coming in is way better, then he's coming to bench the person we have. Once the chance, he gets the opportunity and proves, yeah, I'm way better, he starts. And vice versa, if his numbers are outputs he can less than if it doesn't measure that of the player that's currently at the club, he's coming to be a backup until he proves he can start off. So he's able to start and do better than our current player. So it's not that straightforward, really. It depends on what the numbers tell us. The numbers, what they tell you, do go a long way if you're able to reason, make sense of it. But that's, by the way, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Delap is a lot more a complete striker than Hoyland. He's better than Hoyland, really. And it's important to pay attention to what he had to work with, the volume of chances created for him. It's important to consider those things. But numbers say he's more efficient than Nico, or he finished the season more efficient than Nicola Johnson in front of goal. Yeah. Let's see. Coach Delap reminds me Good Johnson, former Chelsea striker. Okay. Isaac is staying at Newcastle. Yeah, I've always known that. Why would you sell him? And they're playing in the Champions League next season. Also, the lab has a bit of a Diego Costa attitude. Yeah, I agree. And that makes a whole lot of difference. Wally Waldo is in the house. He says, I disagree. I think the lab is the number one striker, and whoever comes in is his competition. Which was why I said I don't see us signing Gyökeres or Osimhen. Because if you sign either of the two players, then the lab becomes backup. It's really, that's how I see it. Ekitike competition for Nicholas Jackson, because their numbers are pretty much, you could say, the disparity between their Ekitike's numbers and those of Nicholas Jackson, the margin, you could say the disparity isn't that much, which means they can compete. And I think that's the reason probably why we're looking to sign Ekitike to come and compete with Nicholas Jackson. And you can say competition will be good for Nicholas Jackson. If he knows that there's someone on the bench capable of coming off the bench, doing, again, an equally good job or an even better job, I think he'd do a lot better. Because he does come across as someone who takes that position for granted. In my opinion, doesn't look like he's improved. All right, let's see. What else do we have here? The lab did against Chelsea at Portman Road. Yeah, he did well against us. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. We'll be rounding off soon. I think we've been streaming for 2 hours right now and 13 minutes, and nothing new has emerged. We're still stream letter. After the Champions League, no, I think the space will be crowded. I don't think it makes sense to stream this evening, except if anything serious happens with regards to our transfer activities, then we'll still stream. What else do we have? You keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Any other thing? You people will be asking us to send the lab along. Yeah, if we sign those guys and we talked about. All right, Bobby, anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day? I think it's been an excellent conversation.
Yeah, it's been interesting. Transfer window is well and truly slammed open. And over the next few days, hopefully, we'll see some very sensible and productive strengthening done by Chelsea.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, for joining. And Tabejo, who was here with us, thank you so much. And Wally Waldo, what is he saying here? Any news on Hato, coach? Nothing new, but it looks like we're still pushing to sign him. Chelsea players were listening. to Sancho C, band for band featuring Okay Little Baby. Kukure decided to rap. Kukure, I like him so much, really. But that's by the way. Thank you to all of you for finding the time to be the part of the conversation this morning. I appreciate you all. And thank you for 37 likes. It's improving gradually. Very soon it gets to 40 and even more. Thank you to Wally Waldo. Nice to see you. They said letness is greatness. Thank you for joining. Mabas05, thank you for joining. IB, thank you so much for joining. Who else was here? We had let me see. Train Top, thank you for joining. And if I missed your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all and cheers.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to them, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the sky.
Chelsea fans, we won't stop believing. New knock with every chant and roar. We rise for the fight. The blue flag in the air, let it fly with pride. We're gonna show the world all hearts open wide. From Stamford Bridge, share our voices to the light. We love for the team, stand strong by our side.
Every challenge we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit shines. Bright lights up the skies. And if a cowboy said, for Europe does, and then with a love this storm, every phone says to them, and there was a strife. How you, my heart, keep the blue flame inside like a soul. Through every challenge, we will never ignore. In unity we trust. Our hopes on the rise. Chelsea spirit